this is Mr. V. In this video, we will determine the measures of spread of a set of individualized data. So we have this set of numbers, and for these scores, we want to find the range, the interquartile range, and the standard deviation. So if we're starting with the range, which is the simplest one of them, the range is the largest number, the maximum number, minus the smallest number, the minimum number. So it tells us exactly how widespread our numbers are. So our smallest number is 3, so our min is 3. It's right over there. And our largest number looks to be 19. So the range is going to be 19 minus 3, which is 16. So we're looking at the total spread of our numbers between 3 and 19. The total spread is 16 units. All right, the interquartile range takes a little bit more work. To find the interquartile range, shortened to IQR, we first need to put our numbers in order. So I'll rewrite this so that our numbers are in order. 3, 3. We've got 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 tens, 10 and 10. 11, 12, 12. 11, 12, 12. 17, 19. 17, 19. And what we're looking for are two numbers. We're looking for Q1, the first quartile, or the number that's exactly a quarter of the way into the data. And we're looking for Q3, the third quartile. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to split our numbers exactly in half. The middle number of our set of data is the 10 over here. And we can find that the same way we find the median. And so what we're going to do is we're going to find what number is in the middle of this chunk to find Q1. And we're going to find what number is in the middle of this chunk to find Q3. Okay, we're trying to find the median essentially for the first half of the data and the median of the second half of the data. So in Q1, I can see that the middle number would be in the fourth position, which is this number over here. So our Q1 is going to be 7. It's exactly in the middle of the first half. And looking at the second half, our middle number is again going to be right in the middle, which will be this 12 over here. So this 12 is our Q3. So if we know what those two numbers are, if Q3 is 12 and Q1 is 7, then the interquartile range, IQR, is going to be Q3 minus Q1, which is 12 minus 7, and 12 minus 7 is 5. So our interquartile range is 5. And what that means is that if we're looking at the middle 50% of our data, it lies in between the values of 12 and 7. And so the middle 50% of the data has a spread of 5. Our last method is to use the standard deviation. Now, for standard deviation, we have a rule, and that rule is the square root of sum of x squared divided by n minus the mean squared. It's a pretty big and complicated rule. We'll take this into bits. First, we'll look at this sum of x squared. So what this is telling us, we want to square all of the numbers that we've got and then add them all up. So I'll use this set that I have down the bottom here. So to find the standard deviation, we're going to square all of the numbers that we have down the bottom here. And then we're going to add up all of those numbers. And that takes a little bit of time. And I really would recommend you use your calculator here. Just put it all on your calculator, and that will tell us what the sum of x is. Using my calculator, I found it to be 1,387. Secondly, in this rule, we also want to know what the mean is. So I'm going to have to take a sidebar and calculate the mean. So the mean, remember, is the sum of all of the numbers divided by n. The sum of all numbers for this set is 127, and we have 13 numbers. 127 divided by 13 gives us 9.77. Now to calculate our standard deviation, we're gonna plug all of these numbers in. So we're gonna get the square root, and on my calculator I'm gonna make sure I put some brackets around this part. We're gonna take the square root of the sum of x squared, which we found over here was 1,387. So 1,387 divided by the number of numbers n, which was 13, minus the mean, 9.77 squared. Close bracket. And what this calculates is how far, on average, all of the numbers are away from the mean. My calculator tells me that the answer to this is 3.35. So our three measures of spread, our range is 16, our interquartile range is 5, and our standard deviation is 3.35. Fantastic.